Welcome to the Mental Edge. As men, we pledge to live on the edge, to discuss all things we love about being men with an infectious transparency that's laced with just the right amount of man humor.
If you're on a journey to self-development and improvement, if you're a seeker of truth or want to find fulfillment and purpose while crafting a brave and successful version of what God has for you, then the Mental Edge is for you.
Today, we're trying to impress singer-songwriter Jonny James.
It is. No kidding.
You heard it, folks. We're not even 1 minute into the podcast, and I'm so starstruck, I'm having trouble saying his name. Jonny.
Yeah. So let's just get it popping. My name is Jay Wakasey.
I'm Fernando Lopez Jr.
I'm Jonny James.
And this is
the MentalEdge Podcast.
Welcome to the Mental Edge. And man, we're excited because we have the hottest act. And I don't even want to just say, Jonny, I don't want to pigeonhole you. I know you're proud of being from the region. A lot of people are like, the hottest up-and-comer from the region. Like, you're up and coming. You don't have to just say, even though we love the region.
Yeah.
We don't just have to say from the region because you're streaming like a mofo, bro.
It's going nuts, man. It really is. Like, honestly, I'm kind of, I don't want to say I'm too shocked, but I am shocked at the same time. So.
Yeah, that's incredible. Making sure we're recording on video, too. We've made a few mistakes in the past, Jonny.
Yeah.
And we don't want to fake it till we make it. You're not faking it.
You know what? It's so funny that you said that because I always tell people, everyone always says the whole fake it till you make it thing. Like, you got to fake it till you make it. Like, what are you faking? You're not faking anything, right? Like, if you're doing it, you're grinding.
You're doing it.
You ain't faking it. Like, what are you going to fake play guitar? No, you got to stand up there, you got to play guitar. Man. You got to sing, you got to write songs. So there is no fake it till you make it. There's just make it.
Just make it.
Just make it.
And the
grind
journey.
It till you make it.
And the journey. And
yeah, well, like I said that too. People always ask me what I'm going to do with my first million. First of all, I don't know that I'm ever going to make $1 million, right? Like, maybe at the mill I'll make $1 million over the next 20 years.
Right.
But it's, there is no, I don't know what make it means. I think for me, making it just means to be able to do what I like to do. And I do that now. So I guess I've made it.
What a great perspective. Now, and I don't feel like that's a perspective that would take you out of success. Like, you're not saying you're settling.
Absolutely not.
You just get it. Like, it's exciting when it's got to be amazing, Jonny. You have enough fans and enough airplay that people sing your songs while you're singing them.
Yeah. Craziest story, and I know we're gonna get into some Q&A, so I hope I don't screw up some questions.
No, man, roll, baby, roll. It's the Jonny James show.
But no, the first time that I heard my song on radio, it was all planned. Like, I knew I was gonna hear it. Right? So, like, that's cool and it's great. Like, I get to hear my own song on 97.5. Shout out to those boys up in Benton Harbor, Matt Malone. But the first time I heard it wasn't as fun just because I knew it was coming. So the real first time that I got to hear it, and it was just random. I was over in Chesterton. This dude's rolling up on this truck, jacked up truck.
That's the best.
Driving down the Indian boundary, and I'm at the gas pump, pumping gas.
Yeah.
He's got his windows down, and he's just jamming to smoke.
Oh my gosh!
But this is the funny part. I don't even realize it's my own song yet, right? Like, I hear this guitar riff, and I'm like, oh man, that sounds dope, and that sounds dope.
Hey, that's my song.
And then all of a sudden the vocals cut in, and I'm like, oh, that's why I know that one. That's why I know that song.
Did you pull up and be like, what's that?
No, man. I literally, I'm just like, it was just the coolest
classy,
moment, man. I didn't even know what to do. Like, it was just because it was just so random, and it's like that's the real moment. When you know it's coming, it's like, it's cool, it's great. Like, obviously being played on radio is awesome. That's amazing.
Yeah, amen.
But hearing it randomly is just like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Being in the art world, I kind of get that if I put something up and I see it, I'm like, so I get it. Yeah. And I've been around a few musicians, and that happened to me with one of my buddies. We pull up and like somebody's playing his song. I'm like, man, that is cool.
Right?
I was excited for him. So I know you felt.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, like I said, with Smoke streaming the way that it did coming out the gate, like, I don't know. I think I'm still kind of shocked because I think it's like almost 250,000 now. Like, it's getting nuts. It's pretty nuts. We went to Nashville to record all that stuff, and again, I know we're gonna talk about all this, but when we went down there, like, I think I took 7 songs, and Bonzi's like, that one's garbage, and that one's garbage. But I love that one.
Well, tell me how you really feel.
Oh, dude, he's real. I love it though. I really do.
That's important, isn't it, John?
I don't want. Listen, if I want somebody to blow smoke, I'll ask my wife how a song sounds. You know?
Yeah. So
she'll lie to me.
Junior, how many times did you show your mom, like, Mom, check this out? Like, he's an incredible freehand too, right?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Check this out. But
Yeah.
seriously, is she the best, like, most honest judge?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Right?
My mom's would tell me
always
I was
say
great
that,
since I was like 9 years old.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey, Mama, how'd you like my new song?
Oh, sweetie, it was so unique.
Yeah.
she lied.
Yeah.
She lied.
Yeah, you said Mom's like, she's like, baby, what's 3 + 3? You're like 9. She's like, my baby's so smart. right? You know, you
He's
can't
going to
trust
college
him.
with that education.
Yeah. If you want the real, ask people that don't know you or that, they're not biased
1000%.
towards, and
Yeah.
it comes off sometimes like they're being jerks.
Yeah.
But if
It's real,
you're,
man.
it's real.
It's real.
And that's the
Well, that's the thing. In our world, in your world,
Yeah.
in the music world, the people that lie to you they're not going to help you. None of that's going to
Dang,
help
it's
you.
so true, Johnny.
Like, oh, your voice sounds great, but it really doesn't. Listen, you can lie to me, and I'm going to have 1 fan. That's awesome. Like, what am I
Man,
going to do with that? Or you could tell me the truth, and I could go get voice lessons, and I can learn how to sing.
Yeah.
And be, and actually get that, and then maybe build a fan base, maybe be, whatever. And I know, again, we're going to get into all this stuff, but I hate my voice recorded. I hate it.
Oh my God, I hate it, Johnny. My own, not yours.
Yeah.
Yours, I think yours is amazing.
Yeah, yours is amazing. And when I hear mine, like, I'm dating myself.
It's a thing,
but,
right,
when,
Johnny?
you
Oh
hear
my
yourself on a
gosh.
voicemail or something. I'm like, who's that guy?
Right.
Yeah.
You're like that too?
Oh my
I would take
gosh.
his lunch money, right? You're like, I would beat that kid up.
Yeah, I hate it. And I always have, honestly, like, we started listening back to everything in the studio, and I'm like, is that me for real? Like, and I always have to ask them. And anytime we started mixing on the album, I'm like, turn the vocals down, bring the music up, and let's just go over the music. And then when we're done with that, I can go back home, and y'all can do
work
what
on
you
the
got to do.
vocals.
Yeah, because I can't. Yeah, I don't love it when I'm singing live. Like and
It's
obviously,
different.
It's totally different. What I hear in my head versus what I hear on an album is like.
It's true, but you do have a great voice.
Thank you.
And that's coming from a guy that hates his own voice. But other thing I want to say is, Johnny, do you hate cell phone recordings of when people like?
Oh my god!
Like sometimes
dude.
I'm like
the Facebook Live stuff. Like again, I can't watch myself back on Facebook Live. And of course, there's people all the time with cameras at shows, and they'll be recording stuff, and then they'll tag me in a video or whatever, and I'll I like to share a lot, of that stuff on Instagram or whatever. Right. But the minute I see it, I'm like,
and you appreciate it, but.
Right, I love the love, but the minute that I hear it, I'm just like, I'm gonna still share this.
Yeah,
I'm still gonna share this, but I don't love the way it sounds to me. So it's weird.
But but a good friend of mine who's a preacher in New York and has made a lot of great music. Like he's phenomenal. One time I played at a wedding, Johnny, and I said, "Oh my God, Mike!" he's like, "Jay, don't ever forget. Like, there's 300 people here. Maybe 3 can play an instrument." You got to keep things into perspective. It's good to be hard on yourself, but at the same time, be realistic.
Well, and this is the thing. Even with me not enjoying my voice, I can also hear my voice grow over time. So, like, I can go back and listen to videos or see videos from, like, 2014, 2011. I'm dating myself. Yeah. 2011, 2014. And I'm like, okay, like, that was real bad. Now it's bad, but it wasn't as bad as it was then. So, like, I can hear the progress still. But yeah, the recorded version of myself, I'm just like, nah, I'm good.
So you feel like you can audibly hear an improvement in your overall performance value, even in your vocal.
1,000%.
Man, people don't. You can become a better singer. You can improve it. You're not
absolutely.
just stuck with what you got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people probably run into them now, and they see the logo, they see the look. They don't know like what the first logo looked like. Or
Oh
what the first
my
record- You know what I'm saying? Like, or all that.
Well,
early stuff.
we were talking about that. So the first EP came out like 3 years ago.
Okay.
4 years ago, and I literally just pulled it from all the streaming platforms because it's just not good.
I did the same thing, Johnny. But I think, dude, your stuff right now is so good. I'm so like, you got to be proud of it now, man.
We were jamming in the studio to his music today. I sent you a little.
Yeah, that was awesome.
recording.
He told me to come by, but I couldn't. I think there could have been.
Yeah,
who
either
knows?
way-
We could have. The shirts could have been off. Who knows where it was gonna go?
But when I noticed is like some of the stuff was like concert footage. Some of the stuff was, you know, your own like cell phone footage. And I've been to concerts and where the music sounds one way on the radio, and then when you hear the guy live, it doesn't sound that good. Unfortunately.
I mean, sometimes terrible, right?
That happens way more than I even.
Yeah. Well, you, my friend, are the opposite of that. So I didn't. Yeah.
I hear that all the time too, and that's what I was just going to say.
That was really cool, man. I enjoyed that.
It happens so often that people, you know, they love the music, they love the album version of everything. They're like, oh, it's so great. You know, they come to live shows and they're like, bro, the live version is just,
and the energy, because I felt the energy too.
Yeah.
So is that something that started when you were super young? You've been playing a long time.
So I didn't pick up my first guitar till I was 13 years old. My old man,
13?
Yeah, my old man fought me forever. I think I asked for my first guitar when I was 9.
So he wasn't into music.
He wasn't in. I grew up playing football. Like that was my entire life, all the way through college. I played in Chesterton. My dad used to run Chesterton Pop Warner, actually.
Wow.
So I did that. I mean, I played football from the time I was 7 till I was 22.
Okay.
Wow. And my old man, he's a football guy. So his whole life was football.
You look tall.
Yeah.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'3" and a half.
Listen up, ladies. That Johnny is a tall glass of cool water.
Important note: he's happily married.
Dang it.
He's 100 feet taller than me.
Yeah.
We were talking about
my door.
I was going to shrink my seat, but
yeah, boots on. I'm like, dude, you can't come in my house.
I had to duck to get through the front door.
So Pops wanted you to be in the sports thing.
Yeah,
you wanted a guitar. Now, real quick, I just want to ask. So before you wanted the guitar, were you like upstairs in the room, like making jams, or you just said, I want to play guitar?
Yeah, I mean, I've always loved music. I don't know what it was, and that's where Heartbeats of the Radio comes from. Legit.
Great.
Like I don't know what it is. There's just a different feeling for me, and I've actually started working on a bunch of new stuff too. Obviously, I've been writing during quarantine, but
making a COVID count.
Right, yeah, there you go. But the feel, man, there's just something about it. I don't know. It's got to be a God thing, but it's just something the way music makes me feel. I mean, I always tell my wife, like, I don't feel like I'm a very emotional person unless it comes to music.
Wow,
with
that's
music,
awesome.
It's such a weird.
Are you an introvert?
Thing. Oh, absolutely. That's the other thing, but we'll talk more about that.
Dude,
Too.
you don't act like it, and you're the world's worst introvert.
Yeah. Listen, there's a big difference between Jonny James and Jonathan James. There really is.
Ooh, I love that.
So there's a switch that goes on when the Jonny James stuff goes on, which is cool. I mean, I like it that way. You know, I know that in this industry, I can't be a recluse. Like I can't. People are going to want to ask questions. People are going to want to take pictures. People are going to want to do, and they do, and it's great. And again, I love all of that stuff. This version of me loves all that stuff, but there's also a version of me that just wants to sit at home and not do.
Yeah,
all that, you know. And I think it's good. I think it's good to have both.
Yeah. So you got the guitar. 13 years old. Pops finally gives in.
So yeah, he finally gave in. It's funny because I've known my wife and her family since she was 4. I was 7. Her mom started taking me to church, and man, there's so many stories we could get into. But so I was 7 years old. Her mom started taking me to church. But my dad actually bought my first guitar. It was an electric Yamaha little one-piece set that came with the amp and everything. My dad bought it from her dad.
Okay.
They worked at the mill together in Birds Harbor. And so he bought it. I don't even know what he paid for that thing. I still have it to this day, actually. Wow. We were talking about that too. But but I still have that guitar. And I never learned how to play it, 13. So a couple years go by, and finally I had gotten into a lot of trouble up here. I was kind of a troublemaker, and my parents, we ended up moving to Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay.
So we were down there. When I turned 14, we moved down there, freshman in high school, had no friends, had nothing. I was just a loner kid, skateboarder loner kid. So I started in rock music.
6'3" skateboarder loner kid.
Yeah. So I
want to see pictures of those. You got to post some of those.
Yeah. I'll have to post up some. Oh my gosh, bro! I went through some phases, man. Yeah. But yeah, so I was just a loner kid, whatever, and I went to a pawn shop, bought a guitar for $100, and taught myself how to play.
Wow.
And
that's awesome.
The rest is history.
The rest is history.
We have a whole podcast about that. Right?
Man,
we have podcasts
Johnny.
talking about buying a guitar and just doing it.
Oh my! Well, that's the thing. I mean, like we were talking too. I had gone to. I had dated a girl in high school, and her parents actually paid for me to get lessons to play guitar.
Oh, that's awesome.
They were like, "Oh, you're getting better at it, and we want to get you lessons." I went to one lesson, and this guy tried to change everything. He's like, "Oh, your form's terrible, and the way you hold the guitar." And literally, it was like one of those
on you, whoever you are.
Yeah, it was the most devastating thing at the moment. But I'm like, I'm just gonna do it, man. You know, I don't need the lessons. I'll figure it out. Taught myself how to sing. Taught myself how to play, and here we are.
Isn't it amazing that sometimes one thing that a teacher can tell you will either elevate you, or can, bring you down, destroy you.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, especially we were talking about the world earlier, and we're not going to get too much into the world right now. But,
please.
But the world is crazy, and I feel like, everybody has this victim mentality, and you can either grind or you can fail.
Absolutely brilliant.
Like there's no between. It doesn't matter what your background is, what you do, where you've been. You can either grind and get out of that hole, whatever it is, or you can suffer for the rest of your life and feel like a victim forever.
Think about Johnny. So Junior just described how people can be instrumental in your climb or your dive.
Absolutely.
And what you just received would have normally been instrumental in a dive.
Right.
You're like, I'm going to turn that frown upside down. And you took what should have been bad news, and you're like, I'm going my own way.
Right.
That's incredible, Johnny.
Well, and again, it to me, and music is one of those things that, like I told you, I'm not trying to impress anybody with my music.
Yeah.
I play the music that I enjoy because I love making that music. I want that's the music I want to hear in the world. So it's the music that I make. Nobody else is making it. I'll make it. And with that being said,
Mousetrap.
There are but there's just, I get to make that music now. So, and you can't tell me that out of 7 billion people, is that what's on the planet now?
7 billion.
Out of 7 billion people, that there's not another, bunch that like what I like.
All you need
He's like, what did you say?
2% of that.
Yeah, he said even what
so, I'll give you it. This is what I tell everybody. And like I said, I'm way better at giving other people advice than taking it, even to myself.
Yeah.
But I always tell everybody, any artist that asks me, because a lot of people around here do ask me, like, what are you doing that's making this work or that work? And I say, it takes 1/3 of this country. So there is 1/3 of 1%. There are 300 million people in the United States alone.
Yeah.
If you get 1/3 of 1% of people to enjoy your music, you have 1 million fans. You don't even need 1 million fans. You don't even need 10% of that.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, in the reality of it, like I said, is 1/3 of 1% is 1 million people. So you have 1 million fans that enjoy your music. You can't tell me you can't live off of that.
And what that sparked for me was, I remember you said, got the guitar at 13, started at freshman year. When did you start lyrically putting things together?
Yeah, great
The reason I say that is because I was listening to your lyrics.
Yeah.
We even made reference to it kind of in our little message. But when did you start doing that? And how did that come about, that process?
So I think probably more end of my freshman, beginning of my sophomore year. So like I said, I come from the rock world. I did a lot of pop punk stuff. I think I'm hoping to God that it never comes out, but I know it will at some point.
I hope it does, because that means you have skyrocketed. And
bro, the first CD I ever recorded, we opened for Red Jumpsuit Apparatus in Jacksonville, Florida.
That's a big deal.
They were a big deal. Yeah. So I was I think I was 15.
What?
It was pop punk. Yeah. And I had written 6 songs. And we recorded it. The band is I'm not even gonna say the band out loud because people will start trying to find it.
Your secret's safe with us.
But I
look for the link below.
Right. So we recorded a CD down in Florida, and from there it just took off. But like I said, the reason I even got into country music is because of the lyrics.
Yeah.
I love storytelling. I love, all of my stuff's real, man. And like I said, without trying to impress people, I think you can write real stuff. I always tell everybody, I am probably not gonna by myself write a song about drinking beer. Because, I drink beer, but that's not my life. It's not a big part of my life. It's not a central part of my life. So it's not something I want to write about.
Right.
I enjoy those songs. I like all of Morgan Wallen's new album. I like it, but half of it's about going out and drinking with your friends.
Yeah, right. It connects with a lot of people, but...
Yeah, I'm 30-something. I don't want to tell you. I'm 30-something years old.
Yeah.
I don't do that. I have 3 kids at home. I got a wife, and so I write about real stuff. And I think that's what people like. I think that's honestly what has probably helped me more than anything, is that it's all very real. Yeah. Nothing. I don't BS anything. So
that's what I take from it.
Yeah.
No hip hop influence at all.
Oh man, there's a hip hop influence in the sense of the storytelling.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking.
Yeah. I wish I had more lyrical flow like that sometimes. But
I thought you were pretty good.
Dude, there's no shame in your lyrical game, bro.
Well, but that's it. So, and that's why Eric Church. We were talking about this. Eric Church is my biggest influence. Because of his song, just the way he writes stuff. There are obviously songs that I'm like, oh, I don't love the song, but lyrically, man, I'm like, wow, how do you even come up with that? You know? So yeah, I love good lyrics. Hardy is another one, up and coming. If you guys haven't checked him out yet, you got to find him. That dude, and he's a writer on so much stuff. It's just like how is he not a huge deal?
And they're all writers, man. Like all the new up and comers are writers,
which is amazing
because the old model, and we'll talk a little bit about the old model, at least as far as what I know. Like you're deeper in Nashville than I ever was, Johnny. But the old model is that, like, for example, guys, people don't realize Chris Stapleton was a songwriter.
Oh yeah,
and he was killing it. But his wife's like, "Hey, babe, how about we make a few million?" I'm like,
"How about your voice is? How about your voice is ridiculous and
insane.
Probably the best voice in country
music, right?
Wow.
Like dude,
like I don't even know what rivals him.
I don't know, but Google, please. I mean, this is about Jonny James. Go ahead and YouTube people reacting to Chris Stapleton's voice. Oh, they lose their crap. People cry.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Well, and the thing is, so the old model of Nashville was that you had the songwriters that were behind the door, but then you had
bringing it back full circle.
So you had the Garth Brooks that was standing out on stage, and no knock on Garth, but you had guys like that were standing out on stage. Lee Brice is the one that wrote More Than a Memory for Garth Brooks. People don't know that. Lee Brice is a great songwriter.
Wow. Dude, and there you go, man.
Yeah, I mean, so these guys now that are coming out, the Mitchell Tenpennies, and even Morgan writes a lot of his stuff, and obviously Church and Luke writes a lot of his stuff, Combs. But it's great that these guys are getting the recognition they need. And the thing is, people started realizing that it's not necessarily all about the look.
Yeah.
You know, there obviously has to be some sort of appeal there, but it's not about the look. It's about the sound. It's about the talent. These guys are so talented. How do you not give them the credit they really deserve?
I mean, like,
to do what they do.
Old Dominion, the Brothers Osborne, like the coolest bands in country music right now were writers, and actually some of them, they didn't even plan on being famous.
Right.
So I just think, Johnny, that having that in your back pocket, that's already who you are, is extraordinary.
Right. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's like you don't really owe anybody anything.
No.
Do you put yourself in a okay? So like you have country music, but within country music you have like
subgenres.
Yeah. Do you put yourself in?
I don't even like putting myself in the country music genre, really.
No, I heard you say country earlier.
You're good. No, you're good. I do because you have to in the real world. Like, so this is the way that I look at genres in today's world. Genres only matter on radio. Right?
Yeah.
Like if you
that's a good point.
99% of people are listening on Spotify or iTunes or whatever. Yeah. So like their playlist could have Biggie Smalls and then could go to Jonny James.
Oh, it's so eclectic, right?
So yeah, I mean, realistically, genres.
That's how mine would.
Yeah, right. And I'm the same way. I mean, really, Eminem's one. Like I love Eminem, but one of the things is genres only matter on radio. So country is the one that it technically fits the most.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think it's.
Do you have a little sub?
It's pretty rockin', I think.
Yes.
I think it's.
So you'd be like rock and roll or rock and roll.
It's
country,
rock country.
rock
Yeah,
country?
I mean,
Right.
yeah. And honestly, I almost always put the rock before the country. But
you should.
The live shows, I definitely put the rock before the country.
Yeah.
I hear it in the guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. Like I said, so Bonzi's huge on rock music, and that was the great connection that him and I made in the studio. Is that we have so much in common when it comes to that. Yeah. The tones that we like, the guitar tones and everything like that. It was like, hey man, I want to put a rock album together in the country genre because the storytelling is what makes my stuff country.
Absolutely. Yes. I couldn't get it out soon enough.
And the pedal steel.
That's the truth.
And the pedal steel.
Yeah.
But that's the one thing.
True.
That's the one thing, and this isn't a knock on rock music, but I think that's the one thing that rock music's really missing is the storytelling. It's got great, emotion to it, but it's like there's no real flow to the
start
story.
And finish.
Right.
You don't bring anybody to fruition in the rock world right now, and it's funny how important it is to country music and how much you learn to love it. Even if the more you listen to country music, the more you fall in love with the storytelling. Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. So that was the other thing I was going to say is just like with the stories. I think that's what has drawn people in. People have come to my shows. So obviously around here, it's a lot of bar shows and it's a lot of restaurants that just want live music. It's not like these big venues. But with that, you get just a wide array of people. Like it's random. Some days I'll walk in and there'll be 150 people already there. And it's like some of them are there to see me, which is awesome. And there's some there that have no clue who I am. And I'll walk in with my guitar and they're like, oh, what do you play? Yeah. And I always start with country. I play country music. And more than 50% of those people will be like, oh, I hate country. And I'm like, listen, hang out for a song or two.
Just hang out, man.
Hang out for a song or two. If you like it, cool, hang out. If you don't, just please leave a tip for your waiter and then let somebody else take your seat because somebody's coming.
Somebody's coming who likes it. That's
Somebody's
right.
coming.
I love that.
That's cool.
But almost always, I can't even think of a scenario right now where someone has got up after 2 songs and left.
Wow.
So
That
it's
says something.
It's worked out pretty well. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. And who you? So we talked a little bit before the show, Fernando, about this area.
Yeah.
Because Jonny is an original music singer-songwriter in an area, I should say, in a region that embraces cover bands.
Yeah.
Loves them.
And I think that's a big Chicago thing too, man. Chicago, I mean, it's here in Chicago. Obviously, with the blues, there's a lot of original blues musicians in Chicago, but outside of that, like it's just a lot of cover bands.
Yeah. Making it kind of tough for a guy that's original like you, right?
Yeah, and so I mean, I was kind of the same way when I first got up here. So when I came back, I went. Obviously, we moved to Florida. I went and played college football in Alabama and North Carolina, and then ended up back here, married to my wife. I moved back 2011.
Did you meet her? Oh no, you met her when you were 4 out here.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, I ended up coming back, and she signed me up for I don't remember what it was called now, but it was Indiana 105 had this like competition thing.
Yeah. Cool.
At the Porter County Fair, and so I wrote one song and I covered 2 other songs. I ended up getting second place to High Noon, the other country band around here. But they had it was a full band, and I was playing acoustic. So I'm like, I'll take second place.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So it was cool. I was shaking, my knees were shaking. It was the first time I'd been on stage in 10 years almost, probably.
Right.
But yeah, so I got back up here, and then I started doing 99.9% were cover shows. I mean, I was covering everybody else.
Yeah.
So I kind of started in that same little thing, but then I'd sneak my songs in here and there.
Yeah, great.
And then it finally got to a point where it's like, okay, half my set is originals now, and people don't even realize like, like, oh, that song's so great. Like, who sings it? I'm like,
this guy with 2 thumbs right here, right?
Yeah, you're looking at him. So
yeah,
and it did. It honestly from there it just started really taking off. But like I told you too, when my father-in-law passed away 3 years ago, I wrote "Shotgun in the Sky," and I realized life was too short. And you know, I'd always dreamed about chasing this and playing music and doing it, but it was like it was fear. I mean, it was honestly fear.
Yeah.
Everybody. If you let fear run your life, then you'll never do anything, right? Yeah. So I was scared, and I didn't know what to do. And then when he passed away, I'm just like, man, he was 57. Wow. 57 years old, passed away, and I'm like, life's too short, man. Like I'm gonna go I'm gonna go grind and see what happens. Yeah. If it works out, awesome. If not, then whatever. But at least I can say I would rather be on my deathbed and say that I did everything I could to chase the dreams that I had, than be there and just hopes and wish that I had done something different.
So you're telling me you didn't play you played at Porter County Fair, and then all of a sudden you were zoomed to where you are at right now?
No, I wish. I wish that were the case.
What? It doesn't work like
facetious,
that?
but doesn't it work like
that? I love
that
that Jonny uses the word grind.
Yeah.
Right?
You gotta, man.
That's what he did.
So you get off the stage at Porter County Fair and you go back to the mill to work? Is that pretty much how it works?
I didn't even work at the mill at the time. I actually worked at Blue Chip Casino as a dealer. Right. I dealt blackjack and craps at the boat for a while. Yeah. And then I got hired at the mill in 2013.
Okay.
And again, I was playing bar shows, but it was never anything serious.
And he passed away
3 years ago, so it would have been 2017, 2018,
so from 13 to 17. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just
trying to follow along.
Yeah. At that point, I was just playing, and it wasn't. And again, I was building this following. There were still people that were coming to my shows and hanging out or whatever, but it wasn't a real grind. Yeah. And then when he passed away, I decided I was going to record my first EP. And I'm like, I'm just going to record it. I wanted to record Shotgun in the Sky for my kids, for my wife, for our family. Yeah. And it was just this little thing. I'm like, whatever. Yeah. It's going to cost me, $7,000 in Valparaiso. But it was expensive. But I will say, I told my wife, I said, this is the one time that music won't pay for itself. After this, if I can't afford it, I won't do anything else. So
But you believed in yourself to make an investment. Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're good. Yeah.
We were going the same direction. I'm like, man, Jonny, and I want you to keep telling your story, but how many people get to the point where they have to make that decision that you made? Yeah. You had the balls to go to your wife and say, babe, this is what I have to do. Yep. Yeah. And she loved you enough to be like, cool with it. And dude, please keep going. But I had to capture that because that's a great moment for a
that's just it, and we'll get into more of that too. But so she agreed, and we ended up. I don't remember exactly the cost of my first CD, but we ended up spending that money, and I put it out, and people started gravitating towards it. And like I told you, the production value on that CD is like that's why I pulled it down. I didn't love it. I didn't love the way it turned out. But it put me on the map whether I like it or not. And Shocking in the Sky was a big one. And Daddy's Arms, which is a song about my daughter being born, was a big one. And people, I think, just started realizing like they can relate to these songs. The thing that I think makes a great songwriter is, like you said, with it being real, is that people can relate it to their own lives. Heartbeats of the Radio means one thing to me, and it could mean something totally different to you.
Yes.
And Smoke means something totally different to me than it does to 99% of people, because to most people, it's a song about heartbreak and this whole like all raging. It's not about that at all for me. So it's cool because if you do it right, people can relate to it in a different way.
You do it right. That's right, John.
Yeah. One verse in a song can make you feel this entire different way. You know what I'm saying? So I get that, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. And so I put out that first EP, and then started doing some bigger shows around Valpo. I mean, we played Popcorn Fests, different stuff like that, and the crowds just started growing, and the live show started growing, and I started charging more money for live shows, and then I could afford to go to Nashville and record. So,
dang! So you funded it through your grind, through your performances.
Oh, yeah. I can't remember the first time. So I didn't start making merch, I think, until I recorded Smoke. So Smoke was recorded in 2019 in Nashville. And so the way that I got down to Nashville was Tyler Geik, who's my lead guitar player, my old producer from up here that helped me record that CD. I won't drop any names because it's not his fault that it didn't turn out the way that I wanted it to. I was lazy with it. It was my own fault. But he introduced me to Tyler. And so Tyler was friends with Brian Bonds, who used to be the lead guitarist for Florida Georgia Line.
Oh, wow.
Dude's got platinum records hanging down his hallway. And it's I mean, it's the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. But so he's got all these platinum records on his walls. But Tyler's like, he's like, I sent Smoke to Bonzi. I just want to see what he thinks. And it was just this recorded. I'm sure I still have it on my phone. You can't hear it, but it was just this garbage recorded version of Smoke. Okay. And Bonds is like, well, I want to produce it. I want to record it, And he was really just getting into the production game. I mean, he's been doing it on the side here and there, but he's like, I want to be able to put out something, not just record demos for people. Like, I want to put out music. So we went down there, and like I told you, I thought Ty was BSing the whole time. Like, oh yeah, bro, like we're gonna go meet the guy from Florida Georgia Line, covered in tattoos with a mohawk, and I just kind of laughed at him the whole way there. And we get there, and he introduced me to Brian, and we sit down and we start talking, and like I told you, it was just this connection right away. And we sat and we talked before we even really talked about the music specifically. We talked for like 8 hours, I think.
Oh my gosh!
About just life, and like I mean, we were up into like the wee hours in the morning just talking. And like I told you, Ty's like, you guys are either gonna love each other or you're gonna hate each other. There is no in between. Like, you guys are so much alike that it's either gonna be one or the other. Yeah. And we did. We our relationship's been great. But he so he introduced me to him, and we started recording Smoke, and then I don't know. That's where everything started taking off, I think.
Okay. That's a great connection, because obviously that guy isn't so far removed from what matters right now.
Right.
Where you can find these people in Nashville who had great songs 25 years ago.
Yeah.
And they've got a decent reputation, but will they make you marketable without stealing your soul?
Yeah.
Probably,
and that's
no.
Yeah.
And that was important to you.
Or your wallet.
Or your wallet, right? I mean, how many people are told they're great? It's not just your mama telling you great. It's the people who like your wallet.
Right.
But,
man.
But you were great. So,
but the thing is too, you hear so many. I've heard so many horror stories, and this is the other reason why, like, I've never just been like, I'm gonna pick up and move to Nashville. Everybody always asks me that, like, why don't you go live in Nashville? I don't want to live in Nashville. I like where I live.
Yeah.
I love my house. I like my people. There's no reason I can't travel 6.5 hours down to Nashville.
Right.
The one thing that I do know that I'm missing from Nashville is that, like, immediate connection of, I could just make a call and go to a writing session, or make a call and go sit down with a producer or whatever. Like, that is the one thing I'm missing, I guess. Yeah. But outside of that, like, when it comes to actually getting the job done, when it comes to recording the music and doing that, like, I can do that. I'll drive 6.5 hours and stay for 12 days and record like I did for Heartbeats of the Radio. So
yeah.
But yeah, so then I started making merch, and people started wearing my hats and my t-shirts, and like, it's crazy, bro. It really
It's so cool when you see you don't look like you go to McDonald's, but you got to run into people wearing your stuff.
Yeah, and it's weird. It's weird.
If people ever run into you, Johnny, and don't know you, and they're wearing your shirt?
No, that doesn't happen. But it's the beard, bro. It's the beard.
Oh, time out. Listen, I got to tell you this. I'm still pissed. Okay? I go to a show, a Jonny James show. He's opening up. I can't remember.
He's stroking his beard about how excited he is.
Yeah.
It looks great.
It was Uncle Cracker.
Yeah.
Right? You killed it, man.
Thanks, bro.
And then I run into another mill guy on the way out. He's like, Jay, gives me a high five. He goes, bro, I just got to tell you something. I'm like, oh, he's going to say it nice to me. He goes, you have the second best beard here.
I love it.
And he goes, guess who had the first one? I said, I know.
Yeah, what's fun? Dude, I'll tell you what though, man. During quarantine, my beard was getting gnarly. I didn't like it. It was like 6 inches longer than this, for real.
It's perfect right now, man.
I got 2 things to say. Jay, you're Emmerich's first choice.
Oh, nice.
He loves your beard. He always says
I think it's a great beard.
Yeah, he says
I knew we were going to get into beard conversation, by the way, when I got here.
The second thing is, this is crazy. So before this all happened, a guy wants a look, right? He's like, I just want this look, and it's just a look, and I wish I had it on my phone right now, dude, because he comes over and he says, this is what I want. I want this look for my stuff. And he pulls up your cover.
Nice.
In the truck, you're like in a blue. Is it blue?
Yeah.
Blue.
Yeah.
That is such a great photo.
Yeah. He goes,
that truck is dope.
Yeah.
I still want to buy that truck from the guy.
Yeah.
I've been trying so hard.
Yeah. So he pulls up this image, and when Jay tells me, hey, we're gonna have an interview with you, that's like the first. I go, I can't wait to tell them this story.
Yeah.
Because there's
That's
people
awesome.
out there that look at your stuff and they're like, that's how good it is.
I love that.
They're like, hey, I want the look of the photo. I want like the style, the colors, and I'm like, dang, man,
Listen, I love that you're saying that because I feel like I'm terrible. And we were talking about this. Like,
No,
you're
you're not.
I feel like I'm terrible at marketing. Like,
Let's
I'm
fix-
terrible at like.
They love it. They love it.
That's awesome.
They love the grain, the grittiness of the photography. They like the whole thing. And, I couldn't wait to tell you.
I appreciate
that. I was holding that.
No, that's awesome.
I was holding that back in the chamber the whole time.
Johnny, it don't hurt that you're a good-looking guy. Okay, it's not.
Listen,
it's not a bad thing.
Remember the vocal thing a minute ago? I feel the same way about my looks. I don't know why people like it, but I'll take it.
I'll take it.
I'll
Right?
take it. I mean,
So
I didn't. Hey, nobody showed me love until I grew a beard.
well, see, that's the thing too.
different looks at the
Nobody showed me love.
See,
until I
that's
grew
that's
a
what's
beard.
funny too. So I always told my wife when I recorded the first CD, I think I was 27 years old when I recorded it, and I told her maybe I was a little older than that. But either way, I'm like, hey, if this doesn't happen by 30, whatever it is, because back then I thought there was an it thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, if this doesn't happen by 30, like I'm just gonna give it up. First of all, nothing even started till I was 30. Wow. Second of all, I grew this beard, and like that's when it became like it's now the Jonny James look is the beard.
Yeah.
So like every now and then I'm like I'm just gonna shave it off. I can't shave my beard. Like
You
it literally
cannot.
is just.
It's part of
You could never work in the blast furnace, Johnny. They won't let you over
That's
there.
true. That's true.
Right?
I honestly tried to get into the Coke plant when I first hired into the mill, and I'm like I'm gonna have to I had to shave this thing off. And I can't. Yeah.
Don't do it. Stay in still producing.
So it's no doubt. So it's it's the look now, and it's like how do I?
Junior talked about your imagery and you're a great live player. What do you think about the modern music model for an up and comer who's making an impact? Like you're making an impact, and you almost have to be the jack of all trades.
1,000%. What's the thing? So like this is what I was about to say. This is what I was going to say about the marketing thing. And this is if there's one side of things that I feel like I really could use the help from, it would be the marketing side of stuff. I mean, I do the best I can. I'm glad that you guys, I'm glad that there are people that actually do enjoy it, because that's cool. Because I told you, I hate social media. I always have. I've never been a fan. It's one of those things like we were talking about with me being kind of reclusive like I am. To like even think of a post. Like people are like, oh, you got to post 3 to 5 times a week and you got to do this and this. I'm like, I don't want to do any of that stuff. Like I'm cool with somebody else posting it for me. I'll take all the pictures you want, but like I don't, it's just not me. So it's one of those things that just, I've hired different marketing managers before, but it's like we said before, it's the grind. Nobody's going to grind like I'm going to grind for me. Nobody's going to dream like I'm going to dream for me. Nobody's going to have the goals that I'm going to have for me. Well,
mouse drop. Yeah.
But that's just it. So you have to be a jack of all trades, because if you're not, you're relying on somebody else to do it for you. And I hope someday that I can rely on somebody else to help me with those things. But at the same time, nobody's going to want it like I want it.
Yeah.
Is your wife into social media a little bit?
You
Maybe
know
a
what?
little bit more than you, or
She
got 3 kids. You guys got 3 kids. It's probably
Well, and that's just it. I mean, she didn't really have time for social media. I think I think she's getting away from the Facebook thing. She loves Instagram. She definitely an Instagram
they
girl.
love Instagram.
But she's great at that too.
I would
man.
love to see a TikTok with you, right? Not the dancing.
I was gonna say
no.
That's the other thing.
No, I don't. None of that.
Here, do some marketing for me real quick.
For me,
because people always say, "Oh, Johnny, you got to get on." I'm on TikTok, but I'm like, what am I gonna post?
So I'm looking at you, and you're full of energy. You have 2 personas, right? You got the singer songwriter that everybody knows, and you got the recluse that's hanging at home,
Right.
You, like with the
bang.
With the bang.
energy drink sitting
by the
on
way,
your
Gotta go to bed in an hour.
I need to give me a sponsor.
Well,
Yeah, there you go.
I'd love to see that part of it.
Yeah.
You know how your wife sees you, scratching your
Just
belly,
laid out, right?
Yeah, laid out. You know,
Boxers
legs
on the-
crossed. Yeah, like just chilling. About talking about some other stuff. Yeah, I think that's a direction that you could possibly go, and people would find completely interesting because, like, your energy here is great.
Right.
Like the energy.
And this is what everybody sees.
Yes,
for sure.
But it'd be cool to see like the laid back guy with the hound dog next to him or whatever kind of.
That's
dog
it.
you got, you know what I'm saying?
I got a yellow lab, bro.
You got a yellow.
Yeah.
Stereotypical country music.
My
yellow
gosh,
lab.
you can't embrace it anymore.
Right.
for a guy that doesn't love social media,
Yeah.
I believe that there's a lot of stock in people who respond
Oh yeah.
to, and I watch you,
Always.
and you care enough
Yeah.
to engage every single person.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm
Who
diligent
says
about that.
something?
I'm absolutely.
He hit me up like in
Yeah.
2.3
Yes,
seconds.
John.
I
You
hit
made us
enter,
feel
turn
important.
around, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
he answered.
I'm diligent about that. But the reason I'm diligent about that is because if someone's going to take the time out of their day, and again, like, oh, it's social media, it's just a post. It is just a post. But those people are still taking time out of their day and commenting. And I try to always comment back to anybody that comments on stuff. I mean, if it's like a birthday post for my mom and there's a million comments on there, like, I'm not going to comment back. to that.
Yeah.
But I love every single one of them because I do. I appreciate anybody that's supporting what I do as a musician, anything you do in your life as an artist. Anybody that supports what you do, how are you not thankful for that? That's a blessing in and of itself, is that these people are willing to take the time out of their day to enjoy or share the fact that they're listening to me on Spotify or whatever. Like, I'm going to share all that stuff.
And it's your
I love
passion.
it.
So when you're sharing your passion and someone, reciprocates that, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
it's
Right.
fun. That
Well,
part
and
of it.
and again, like, the fame thing is so funny to me. That's what I was going to say earlier too. Like, people asking for autographs is the weirdest
That's so
thing
cool,
to me.
Johnny.
But I love it.
That is very
again.
cool.
I
Well,
always feel like I
yeah.
say listen, when I say things are weird, I don't mean it's weird in
No,
a sense that like
yeah.
I don't like it. I love it. I think it's great. It's weird to me that people want a Jonny James
It's
autograph.
because you're meek and you're humble.
Yeah.
And that's part of your success. So stay that way, bad boy.
Yeah,
Okay?
that ain't going anywhere.
I love
Anytime
it.
someone asks me to sign something, I'm just like, wait, what? I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's-
bro, it's funny because I'm always just like, when I did the Uncle Cracker show, we sold a ton of merch. I signed a ton of stuff. And I'm like, these people are like, oh, like, where are you from? I'm like, I live like 35 minutes from here. Like, I'm from here, bro. I'm from here. But I
from right
appreciate
down
it,
the street.
Yeah. So I'm like, I still work at the mill. People are shocked by that. That I still work at the mill. I'm like, I work,
Because you
work a
seem too
lot of hours at
active
the
to
mill.
have a normal job.
I was gonna say that just from
Seems too
I know
active.
Jay told me you work at the mill. That's how I knew you worked at the mill. Then I heard the music, and I'm like, oh yeah, he even writes about it
Yes.
in his songs.
That's right, he has a
so like
skill.
everyday stuff.
Yep.
And back to the marketing really quick. When you talk about everyday stuff, how often do we watch TV and hold the phone in our hands?
Oh, yeah.
Everyone does it now, right?
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
24/7.
So if you think about it too much, right, as far as a post,
Yeah.
think about what other people are putting out there, right? They're just like putting their everyday stuff out
Oh,
there.
Yeah,
Get
like
it?
they're mashed
So that-
potatoes.
Yeah.
But that's why I got rid of Twitter, because I'm like, this is stupid.
Yeah,
Like,
turning on the light
Twitter,
switch.
Oh my gosh! Why do you want me to tell you in what is it, 240 characters? Why do you want me to tell you every second of what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't. I deleted it. That's the one thing I don't have is Twitter, because it's toxic, bro. Well, again, we're not going to get into life these days, but it's toxic.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I feel like one of the reasons, like,
the fact that I even think about it, you're saying is too much. Like, don't even, not.
Yes, no, that's what I'm saying.
I need to think about it, just not overthink it.
Don't overthink it. And
Yeah.
that's one. And then two, I feel like the origin story, you have such an interesting like perspective.
Yeah.
I think that people would be interested in that perspective. You're a solid guy. So,
Yes.
Yeah. And
Boom.
Yeah. We are in desperate need of that in society and culture
Just real
today.
Just
things.
real, yeah, you know.
Just
like-
real. Like, it's all right.
Well,
Hey,
listen,
it's
I
just an
started.
option.
Well, because I started listening. No, I totally agree. I started. I followed you guys from Jump Street because I saw you with the Hometown Country Jam thing, obviously opening
thank
up.
you very much.
So, which was awesome, and so I got intrigued. I'm like, what is this Mental Edge thing? So I started following it, and I listened to a couple of them or whatever. But like, I know the last two. You guys had the politician in the two times ago, and then is it Jesse?
Yep.
Okay,
Jesse,
Jesse. There you
yeah.
go.
Jesse's houses.
Bro.
Casas.
Yeah.
Check that one out first of all. Oh my gosh, you want to talk stories? That dude's got some stories. But you had the politician in, and I'm like, okay, like I love politics and I hate politics at the same time.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
because
We're the same way.
Oh my gosh, man. We'll talk later. But yeah. I honestly like in the world that I'm in the realm that I'm in, the feeling I have,
Yeah.
the feeling I have about politics,
Yeah.
is that it's not my place. To tell other people what or how they should feel. Like
I
you're gonna
love that.
you feel the way you feel for a reason. Your
Yeah.
life has molded you into the way you are. So
Yeah.
I like that.
And as long as you have a reason, you're
Right.
winning.
There you
And
go.
a lot of people don't have a reason, but
Right.
but Johnny, like I can tell, you think about why you're gonna cast your vote, and
I overthink. I
Yeah.
overthink all that. You know that.
on social media anyway.
Right, there you
According
go.
to Fernando,
The
who's
jack of all
who just
trades.
so Fernando in essence is saying,
Shots fired.
Johnny, everything about you is good, bro. Like people love it, and don't be afraid to share it all the time, and you don't have to overthink it because
Yeah.
it's good stuff.
Well, see, the one thing I am fully blessed with when it comes to social media is I got some beautiful kids, man.
I know.
I got some beautiful
Sure, they're
kids.
yours, man. I'm just being honest.
They-
Gotta go on Maury.
I don't-
No, they're
I-
good looking. You have a beautiful family.
Well, yeah, my wife
Yeah.
is gorgeous, and that is why my children are
It's
beautiful.
I think one of the first images that I saw on your Facebook timeline was a picture of you guys,
Yeah.
a family photo, and I was like, "This guy's coming to the Mental Edge."
Yeah, all right.
Like
That's
this family is way too good looking to be here.
Moving on
man.
up, moving on up.
I did,
Yeah, no, they
I
are.
felt that was good.
They're beautiful, and so they make it easy for me. When you talk about content, that stuff's
Yeah.
easy. Like I'm like, I'll share pictures of my kids. Like,
Yeah.
hell yeah, I'd like to do
I
that.
love that about social media. It's one of my favorite things about social media. It's
Oh,
why
yeah.
I won't get super. I refuse to get offended. And I mean to mess that up 9 times, because I'm like, I'm not gonna not see my kid, my family, my friends, kids do amazing things.
Right.
Like Johnny, the first time your kid scores a touchdown,
Oh, my
I'm gonna be
gosh.
like, I'm not gonna hold the like button until the heart comes up.
Right.
And then it'll be a muscle, a football, a guitar, and a flame.
There you go.
Okay.
I feel like I'm in amongst kindred spirits when I say I love to see people win.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I love to see you win, even if it's like throwing the ball to the golden retriever and
Bro.
it doesn't run after it.
You know
You know what I'm saying? Like
There you
that,
go.
stuff
That's
like
it.
that. Like it's just fun.
But this is the thing, and this is what I was saying too. Like, I have a lot of other artists, local artists, that ask me different questions
Yes.
about whatever. Apparently, people think that I'm bigger than I think that I am, which is awesome, But the point is, they do. People ask me advice and stuff, and I always give as much advice as I can. Sometimes I feel like it's not enough or whatever, but like I tell them what I know, and. With that being said, I want to see everybody succeed. Everybody from the region. Like, I hope to God that we open this region up and people realize how much talent there really is
Dude,
here.
this place could be a mecca. I mean, it's great. We loved, by the way, I didn't mean to knock those cover bands.
No, for sure.
Johnny, they're great.
Oh
they're
my
so
God.
good. I get it why people gravitate to
Right.
them. But there's so much talent, right? And you're a
Absolutely.
great example. You've just done enough work to shine, even though the system isn't there to support you.
And that's just it. There isn't that, but I think that the more of us that actually do make it in, and the
I
ones
was
that
gonna say
band
that.
together,
I'm with
you.
dude, the ones that band
You're a
together,
trailblazer, bro.
You can create that. We
Yeah.
can create that here.
You got to
Yeah.
create a Facebook page where you can get people involved and get like a collective of those type of people.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
producers and the songwriters and the
Oh, for sure.
musicians. Something you don't have to do it.
I'm
but
su-
like,
I'm sure there
hey,
is.
if
I'm sure
anybody
there
out
is
there
one.
on
I'm sure
Mental
there
Edge
is.
land,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Right. Well, and that's the
definitely do
thing.
that.
I mean, I feel like there's so many other, not other, there's so many musicians in general that always feel like this is a competition. Like, we're competing. I'm like,
yeah.
because Florida Georgia Line fans don't like Luke Bryan or don't like Luke Combs. Like, this is not a
Right,
competition.
they're only fans for
Right.
one. That's so good, Johnny.
I'm like, dude,
we got to quit being crabs in a barrel.
That's it.
That's right.
Here in the region, we got to quit doing that, and
Yeah.
we have to support each other, and
Yeah.
we have to work
Bro,
with
think
each
about
other.
that. It's all
growth
about
in that.
It's all about the network. No matter what, no matter what it is, no matter what you're doing, it's all
It's
about
all
the
about
network.
That's great. Yeah.
So that's my biggest, I think, pet peeve with the music industry or the music world around here is that there's so many people that just feel like it's competition.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm like, bro, like,
well, you won the competition, and you are the man.
Well, I was gonna say though, this is my thing with that. Like, if you're competing with me, like, who are you really competing with? Because I'm not competing back. Like, I don't care. Like I said, I'm not here to impress anybody in general. I make the music I make because I love it.
And if you're making like if you and another artist in the region who are friends but are competing in a way that lift each other up, that's a good thing, man.
Yeah. There's a difference between support and
sabotage.
Exactly. Well, dude, I mean, it's a crazy phenomenon. And like I said, I think if the minute you get into that, like that idea where you have to have somebody else has to fail for you to succeed, like, that's the life you want to live?
That's great, though. That is the exact mindset that people have, Johnny.
Yeah.
There's only so much space.
Right.
And you have to fail for me to get in that spot. That's terrible, and it's a complete bold-faced lie.
Yeah. Oh, 1,000%.
And the thing, it's because they haven't heard your math about the whole.
There you go. 1/3 of 1%. 1/3 of 1%.
Guys,
dude,
1%.
Guys, I hope people know this, but the greatest. We've been waiting for this come out of COVID show, Johnny, and you're going to open up this coming out of COVID show, and you're the right man for the job, and I'm so excited for you, bro. I know you've had big shows before. I don't want to take anything away from your pet, but it's crazy. Like, I think this COVID coming out of COVID, it's going to count for you even more.
I think so too.
You're going to make it count.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm absolutely going to make it count. But no, the Lee Bryce show, the Hometown Country Jam thing, it was going to be huge last year. That was always kind of the jumping off point. It was great, and I was ready for it then.
Yes, you were.
But yes, coming out of COVID and being the first live show back around here in far too long is going to be amazing.
The stage is dope, dude. Yeah. You're gonna make the stage look small, dude. You're so big. But June 5th, right?
June 5th,
kicking off the show is Jonny James. And Johnny, I mean, I love your style. I love what you do with the acoustic guitar, and I think that's born out of being by yourself sometimes.
Absolutely.
Like, because you're percussive with your right hand, which cuts down on some of the vibration of the string and creates this like resonance for people. It's almost like you're a drummer and a guitar player at the same time.
Yeah. I wish I was like an Ed Sheeran drummer and guitar player at the same time.
Yeah,
that dude can play. I mean, he's a beast.
Yeah, he's got that.
But yeah, I think that's it too. Like, I don't have the I don't even know what the word would be. I can't do all of the everything. So I try to make my own backbeat, my own. Yeah. I want to make that song feel as full as I can, even in an acoustic show.
Yeah, a lot of good hammer-ons with your left hand too. I noticed, like, like one of them fingers coming just a little bit late. You do a good job, Johnny, and because when you've been up there, as a musician, if you watch other musicians, I know you know this. Like, some people just thrash away before you know it. They're stuck in the same strum pattern, and all their songs will sound the same.
Yep.
So you gotta give each one its own like resonance and feel and heartbeat for the radio, which is, you know what I mean? Like, you give it that with your right hand and your left hand, and you're killing it. Now, what are we going to see when we see you on stage June 5th? Because you're so ballsy, you could do it on your own.
Yeah. You're gonna see a rock. You're gonna see a rock show. You're gonna see the full band. The full band's coming, and I'm
so excited.
It's gonna be so cool.
Which is gonna be amazing. The full band will be there, which is so cool. With everything Ty's doing, the Tyrus is doing, and he's been obviously a huge advocate for me, which is awesome. He called me. We started selling tickets, and obviously you can get tickets through me. So hit up my Facebook.
There you go. Hit him up, guys.
You can get tickets through me. So when he started seeing the ticket sales that were coming from my fans, my supporters, he's like, "Hey man, I know we were talking about you doing it acoustic, but like we're selling some tickets. Like let's bring the band out." I'm like, yes. Yeah. Absolutely. No questions asked.
He told me he was impressed with your fans.
Yeah. Oh, they're amazing.
He's like, Johnny's fans, dude, they're stepping up to the plate.
They're diehards, bro. I'm telling you. It's crazy. And honestly, like I said,
you gave me chills when you said that. Yeah, I'm glad you know that, Johnny.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Dude,
you got a name for them?
No, think of something. Y'all market that out. Think of a cool name. I've seen some of the coolest stuff too. I'm like, man, that's a sweet name. I wish I had. My fans need a name.
Yeah,
but
that's cool though.
Maybe someday.
Yeah, man.
I'll let them figure it out. Let them name themselves.
I like that.
Like Eric Church's. The Church Choir is amazing.
Yeah,
it's a great name.
That is
Luke
a great
Combs
name.
is the Bootleggers.
Like, you're opening up for Lee Bryce. If you could pick your next show after Lee Bryce, who's killing it on the radio, like, I mean, my God, he's killing it, right?
Yeah.
Who else would it be, Johnny, if you could open up for somebody in July?
Church.
Let's go to church. Let's go to church.
It would always be church. This is the thing. Eric Church is not going to have an opener probably for the rest of his life because that dude. So my wife and I went and saw him in 2019 in Chicago. He put on a 3-hour show. Wow. Double down tour, back-to-back nights. He played 3 hours. So 6 hours in 2 nights in Chicago. 2 sold-out shows. And that dude is a monster, man.
He's a monster.
It's crazy.
Who does that?
Him.
Yeah.
Nobody does that anymore.
No.
You know, like the average country show.
Bro, it's like
the main
an hour
artist,
and 15 minutes maybe.
Hour 15.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Right. And that's actually for like somebody that has a catalog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like some of these guys. So we went and saw, and like I said, I love Morgan. But before Morgan Wallen had his album, which just dropped 30 songs, which is insane. But before he dropped his 30-song album, oh my gosh, dude. I went and saw him, Lainey Wilson. That's how I saw Lainey the first time. She was amazing.
Yeah, I love it.
Saw Lainey Wilson, Morgan, and Hardy all in Chicago. And they put on a great show, and it was awesome. But it's like, they're like 45-minute sets apiece, you know? And then they're like, okay, time to get off stage.
Yeah.
And it's like, it feels, when you're in it, it's great, like obviously, but it just feels short. And especially when you're the guy on stage, like I don't know how long my set is for Hometown Jam. We'll find out. But however long it is, it's going to feel like a blink of an eye for me on stage.
Yes, sir.
You know?
But it's going to be so good. And guys, please go see live musicians because I want you to know that's how they make their money.
Oh my gosh.
They don't make money. They don't make a
Don't
ton of money.
Yeah.
Streaming is nothing.
They just don't make money like they used to, you know, but
watching them in merch.
that's why they're so good at so many things, and that's why COVID hit them so hard because their live music money's their money.
Yeah. Streaming music is 0.004 cents if you're lucky. 0.004 per stream for like the big deals, which is it's crazy. Like I said, I'm the same way. If it were up to me and I had once I get my marketing strategy right, I'm going to pull the Garth Brooks and just pull all my stuff down from streaming and just put it on my website and buy it from there.
Yeah, that's sick.
That's what Garth does, dude.
That's
it's nasty.
sick,
it's smart though. Like, I mean, realistically, like I said, these people have created something that is great.
Yeah.
And they're charging you 99 cents. You're going to pay 99 cents one way or the other, and they're going to get 0.004 cents. So they're not even getting 1% of the money, and this company that's streaming their stuff's getting the rest.
Wasn't it Prince, one of the first ones that artist formerly known as Prince that did that?
Yeah.
Oh,
pulled his stuff. Yeah. Pulled his catalog maybe.
And start selling it. And, you know, I think he made a reference one time to...
That's a lie, by the way. I'm not going to pull my stuff from streaming.
No,
We get it. We talk like this all the time. We're like, there was like one Whitney Houston reference that Prince made where she got like, $20 million, which sounds like a lot of money, right? I mean, and it is a lot of money, don't get me wrong. But like for the amount of her catalog, that's that's nothing.
Oh yeah,
it's nuts, dude.
Yeah.
So it's still probably better than the old model, but because
which old model?
Like here's so a lot of people didn't realize that when people would get record deals, and no, I'm talking about like the people who are making it but haven't made it, right? That a lot of the promotion.
They got to pay for all that. Huh?
It came out of their cut.
That.
Yeah, they're getting
like parties and things like that. Guess whose money that came out of, guys?
Yeah. Well, not only that. I mean, even now it's still a problem when it comes to 360 deals and stuff like that. Like that's what I said. The record label thing. It's the thing that a record label can do for an artist nowadays is the marketing side of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, outside of marketing, like what do you need a record label for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing that keeps them relevant because I can I post all of I go through a distributor, they release all of my music. It's all out on the internet.
Yeah.
Real quick, the people that love you are from where?
All over.
Yeah. But mostly from?
From here.
From right here. Okay. Right? So if you were to leave, you know what I'm saying? I mean, these are the ones that are supporting you. I feel like as an artist, I feel like the same way. You know, we get a lot of artists that want to go to, I don't know, let's say one of the big cities and have gallery showings there. Right. And all your supporters are like in Lake Station. My supporters are like in Lake Station.
Right.
They're not going to Chicago.
They're
not going to or they're not going to New York. Or they're not going to London. Or you know what I'm saying. And same thing for you. Like you know, if you can do really good here.
Yeah. And I do really well here. And that's the thing too. Like you can get into this mentality that like and I think people get into this mentality with everything, like, oh, the next step is like where I'm going to feel better about this, or the next step is where I'm going to feel, when I move here, this is going to change everything. Why? Again, even with me in Nashville, there are a million talented people in Nashville that are playing guitar and singing that are probably more talented than I am. Like in the reality, they're well trained. Well, I know you're going to have your own opinion, but
I don't know.
He's biased right now.
Right, I like it.
We're biased.
I appreciate
it.
But no, like just in the reality of it, like is yes, I can go be a small fish in a big pond, or I can stay here and do what I'm doing, and it's working. You know, like
I love that you got the support from the people you grew up with.
Absolutely.
And, I love that, man.
Well, and it's so funny how many people run into me. So my full name is, or my stage name is not my full name. So my name is Jonathan James is my first and middle name. Okay. And so obviously went to Jonny James. But people come out to shows and they'll be like, so what made you change your name? I'm like, well, it's just, I mean, Jonny James sounds better than my full name.
Oh my gosh.
It's marketing.
Johnny.
It's marketing. Well, but it's funny because they're like, well, I kept seeing this Jonny James thing and I didn't recognize it. And then all of a sudden they come out to show and they're like, it's you. I'm like,
it's you.
Yeah, bro. I've known you since you were in, third grade.
We played tag. He was always slow.
Right. Remember dodgeball?
Yeah, right.
So, yeah.
Man.
But yeah, so it is cool. And like I said, I mean, the great thing about even social media and even the effect that I control everything myself. There's, like I said, I tried the marketing team thing with a couple different people that just like, they didn't understand me. So I can't have people trying to market what I'm selling if they don't know what they're doing. And they don't know me well enough, and they're not willing to put in the time to know me well enough to actually be able to do that job. So I got into doing it myself, and like I said, now I comment back to everything. I like and love everybody's comments back to mine, and it's awesome to actually have that interaction and to have there's I have multiple fans from overseas that own all of my merchandise. Like, it's crazy. They'll post pictures of them wearing a Jonny James t-shirt in front of a place in Dublin. Like, I'm like, that's
that is so
sweet,
cool.
bro.
Yeah. Holy crap, dude, you're international.
Really
yeah,
cool.
it's awesome. Well, they're always like, oh, you got to come play a show here. I'm like, I would have like 4 fans. It would be a blast. I'll do it.
Yeah,
I'll absolutely do it.
Can we do Zoom?
Right.
Yeah, right.
That's going to be an expensive trip to go play for 4 people. But no, and that's the thing. I mean, I think you go away from home to try to grow a crowd, but you always have to come. I mean, you have to come back here, and you have to respect and appreciate the people that are and have helped you build what you've done.
Yeah.
What I look forward to, Johnny, is that we're 5 years from now, we're talking about, hey, let's go to Johnny's studio and let's cut this song that we just wrote. Like, people saying, hey, we're going to go to Johnny's house because he's made it. You know what I mean? And you could be here and not be here at the same time. Like, this is your hometown, and Junior's like, you're going to still pay homage to the people who built you.
Oh,
and
for sure.
I can tell that's who you are.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, even your songs are written like that.
Absolutely.
I'm so excited for you, Johnny. And I don't know if you want to play a song, but we could mic you up because we would love for us to have one Jonny James song.
I'm always down.
And what I love about you is I won't even have to mix much. It'll be amazing. And so Flight Levels Entertainment is bringing a show to town on June 5th. At the Bricky Bowl, starting at what time?
I don't know.
The first time Johnny strums a chord and the whole band is rocking behind him. Dude, I feel bad for the people who follow you if you're bringing that band to this town.
It's going to be awesome. Yeah, dude, we're putting on a rock show. I'm telling you.
I feel bad, man.
I'm telling you, we're putting on a rock show. I mean, everybody else that's going to be there. So it's going to be me, Lewis Bryce, Dylan Snyder, Julia Cole, and then
I'm
Lee,
digging
obviously,
Lewis Bryce. I kind of did a little Lewis Bryce research. I'm like, dang, this bro. He's got a cool, I don't know, his vibe is cool, man. I like it.
Yeah, we've chatted a couple times. Obviously, being related to Lee has got to be rough in this industry.
Rough.
But he's stupid talented.
He is, man.
He's really good. Dude, listen, Flight Levels did really well with the lineup they got at the time that they got him. Because realistically, like, if he'd have waited any longer, this might have been a real hard show to pull off.
No, you're right. Timing is critical, right?
Oh, it's huge.
Because people are coming out and they're looking to do shows because they got to pay that NIPSCO bill, whatever they call it in Nashville.
Right. Yeah. I don't know what the electric bill is down there, but yeah.
No, man. But man, this was a great show, Johnny, and we are so appreciative of you making time.
Absolutely.
We know that you work a lot. You got a family. We know that you're constantly playing live, and it's about to blow up for you.
I hope you're right.
And I mean, it already is, but I mean, there's another stratospheric level for you. And I want to say that my name is Jay Casey.
I'm Fernando Lopez Jr.
And
I'm Jonny James.
Oh, let's do that one more time because I messed it up.
Are you going to say it? Do you want to say it?
I'm going to say, my name is Jay Casey. You're going to say,
I'm Fernando Lopez Jr.
You're going to say, my name is Jonny James. And this time you're going to say, we out at the end of it,
I'm
okay?
Say we out.
Yeah. So, of course, your name first. Okay, so my name is Jay Casey.
I'm Fernando Lopez Jr.
My name's Jonny James. And we out, and we out, and we out, and we out.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very special performance by Jonny James.
This song's called Heartbeats to the Radio. It goes like this.
I was 6 years old, sitting shotgun seat in Daddy's Ford. It was lightning blue, bungee cord held the door. That tape deck wore out to blue suede shoe. There was only one thing a boy could do. I'd say, Daddy, can you turn up the radio? Wanna sing along to every song I know. That Elvis Presley will never get old. I swear my heart beats to the radio. I swear my heart beats to the radio. Bought my first car for $200. My uncle cut me a deal, yeah, it was just my luck. That four-door hatchback, all it needed was stereo. Crank it up to 10 and away I'd go. Crank it up to 10 and away I'd go. Yeah, I'd turn up that radio. Sing along with every song I know. Those memories, they're solid gold. I swear my heart beats to the radio. I swear my heart beats to the radio.
It's my favorite part.
Now I got a 3-foot tall version of me. Anywhere I go, he's gotta be. Sitting back seat in Papa's old truck, tapping his toes along to the beat of the drums. And he says, Daddy, can you turn up the radio? Wanna sing along to every song I know. That every church he'll never get old. I swear his heart beats to the radio. I swear that boy's heart beats to the radio. Does your heart beat to the radio? Come on, yeah. To the radio.
Dude, I don't have to mix that.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you.
My favorite part.